Hi everyone, welcome to one more video in the series of UPSC Prelims strategy. In this video, we'll talk about the most important thing in your preparation. Perhaps more important than like so far what we have discussed. Okay, this is making schedule, making timetable for UPSC Prelims. Okay, making your own schedule, which will take into consideration your own strengths and weaknesses, which will ensure that you do multiple revisions of all the subjects, you solve sufficient number of mock tests, and the schedule which will ensure that you are at your best when you give the exam. Okay, so let's start today's class. So the first thing we'll discuss is okay, before we get into details, the first thing we'll discuss is how many revisions we should be doing. Okay, everybody knows that for UPSC prelims, for a given syllabus, you should do repeated revisions. Okay, we already discussed how to understand the exact syllabus of UPSC prelims in the last video. If you're not seen, please, I'll put the link in the description. Have a look at it. But you can like go ahead with this video also. The first thing is how many revisions we should do for the prelims, like for the entire syllabus. Now, I will recommend from my own experience and the way I've seen others also, even like the way toppers also recommend, you should do at least 4 to 5 revisions for the entire syllabus. Now, no need to get scared. It's not that like you have to do everything at once. And okay, so how it happens is initially it takes time for you to do all the subjects one by one. Okay, like for example, if you are to finish economy or geography, it may take 7 8 days together, even 10 days. But eventually, second revision onwards, this time which is required to study the subject is supposed to reduce. Now how it happens? It happens because like you get good at that subject. Okay, with first reading you already know all the basic things. With second reading you get to know a lot of more details. In third reading, it's like 70 80% stuff is already known. You just have to brush up the things. You don't have to struggle to understand anything conceptually. So fourth and fifth reading, they happen very quickly. Okay, like that. So if we plan like that, it is possible to plan for at least 5 revisions. I mean, 5 times studying each subject. Okay, so we'll keep this thing as a first consideration. The second consideration will be the mock tests. Now we'll plan in this series for 50 mock tests. I feel this is a reasonable number to crack UPSC prelims, because if you give 50 mock tests and if you analyze them very properly, it gives a fair idea about your own weaknesses. You get to work on them, and then you get to practice good number of questions. Okay, so with this thing in mind, that we'll plan for 5 revisions and 50 mock tests. Let's go ahead and prepare a schedule. Okay, now I've already done the work for you. You don't have to stretch your brain for that. I'll just explain what the table is about. Okay, if you see till prelims, UPSC prelims over here, and I planned it from 15 January. Okay, so we have almost 4.5 months. Now, if you count the total number of days, it should be somewhere around 140, 135, something like that. Okay, so in that, this is how we'll plan. Okay, for the first study, okay, over here, which will cover the entire syllabus, doing from first subject till 10th subject. Okay, that will cover, so that for that we'll allocate 54 days. Okay, doing entire syllabus from the first topic till last topic. Okay, 54 days. For the second study, again doing the entire syllabus from first to last topic, will allocate 36 days. For the third study it will be 24, then 12 days, and then for the fifth study it will be just 6 days. Okay, now 54 days, it's totally possible, right? 10 subjects, some subjects are smaller, like ancient history, medieval history, they're smaller. Some subjects are bigger, like economy, polity. So if you and like you have time exclusively for prelims. Okay, there's nothing else you're supposed to do at this stage. So if you consider all these factors, 54 days, it's good enough. Okay, and again 36, 24, it will happen as you go along. Study again and again, it will happen. Now let's break down the first part, like all these five revisions, into further smaller chunks. Okay, so that it becomes manageable. So for this, I've done this classification. Okay, the first one is schedule for first study, the schedule for first this 54 days, and the second one, the schedule for second study, it is for next 36 days. It is for second revision. Okay. Now in this, how we can allocate our time? Like the way we have already discussed, we can divide all the subjects into 10, and like this, if we club the subjects together. Okay, I know that it's difficult to study one subject totally. I mean, like you cannot just take economy and study for 9 days end to end. Instead of that, what we'll do, we'll allocate 18 days and we'll do economy and polity together. Okay, similarly for environment geography, 15 days, science and tech, current affairs, GK, 8 days, and the first four subjects, art and culture, ancient, medieval, modern history, 13 days. So if you observe the day, like from dates and two dates, like assuming that you're starting from 15th January, 15th January till 1st February, it's like all these things have been calculated. Okay, you don't have to worry about calculations. So that's how the allocation will happen. Similarly, for second study, because we allocated only 36 days, we have to reduce the time which will allocate for individual subject. Okay, so for that again, like considering the importance of subject, Indian economy and polity again will revise 12 days, 10 days, 6 and 8, like that. So what we are supposed to do, for example, let's say you're starting your studies on 15th January. So you should start with Indian economy and polity. You should do it for a good amount of time. Like for 18 days, you should do only economy and polity, and you should like get over with it. Okay, get done with it, like that. After that, what you're supposed to do, take up environment and geography. After that, take up science and tech, current affairs, GK. Like that, one by one, two subjects together. Like that, you finish all the subjects. After that is done, okay, after 8th March. 9th March onwards, if you can see over here, like 8th March, our first revision ends. So 9th March, your second revision should begin. Okay. So 9th March onwards, again you'll study economy and polity for the second time. Again you'll study environment geography for second time, science and tech, current affairs, GK for the second time, art and culture, ancient, medieval, modern for the second time, like that. So at the end of 13th April, you would have done all the subjects two times. Okay, I hope you're able to get what I'm trying to say. Okay. So at the end of 13th April, we would have done all the subjects two times. Okay. Now, if you see the overall schedule, we have to do it five times total. Okay. Like till 8th March first time, then till 13th April second times, then till 7th May, that will be third, 19th, 25th. Okay. Third, fourth, fifth, like that. So for every next study, the time you'll allocate for the entire study, it will reduce, which is obvious. Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is schedule for third study, fourth study, fifth study. Okay, for the third study, total number of days are 12. For the fourth, it's 12. I'm sorry, for the third study, it's 24 days. For the fourth study, it's 12 days. And for the fifth study, it's just 5 days. Okay, you have to finish in 5 days. And it's possible. I have done it. So many people have done it. And like some of your friends also must have done it. You must have observed. So this way, by 24th May, a day before exam, we would be done with the five revisions for all the subjects. Okay. And this is the way it needs to be done. Okay. There is no excuse in this. Now, what may happen that you may lag behind, you may be weak in some subject, but then something else should be your strength also, right? Maybe somebody is weak in environment, but maybe again he'll be strong in history. So history will take less time. So little bit adjustment can happen, okay, for you in the first revision for the first in the first schedule. For example, we allocated 18 days for economy. Now 1 2 days here and there you may do, okay, that is allowed, okay, but as a whole you should plan for 5 revisions, okay. Now after this, the second leg of our planning will be mock tests, okay. So we'll have a separate planning for mock test. Now what I'll suggest for mock tests is, let's say this is the entire schedule for our syllabus completion. So for mock test, what you should do, after studying individual subject initially, you should give the sectional test. For example, over here, like 15th January, you're starting Indian economy and polity. 1st February, you're ending it. So after 1st February, you should try to give sectional test on economy and polity. That will test your study, how much you're done. Okay, and that will show you the gaps, what else was remaining and all. Similarly, after 16th February, you should give mock sectional tests on environment geography. After 24th, you should give sectional tests on science and tech, current affairs, GK. And similarly, after 8th March, you should give sectional test on these subjects, art and culture, history, etc. After the first study is done, after 8th March, you should start with full length tests also. Now you don't have to wait. Okay. Initially, you should take some time, some like 1 2 months. You just should practice on sectional tests. But after that, you should start with full length tests. Okay. So keeping this in mind, we have prepared a schedule for mock tests also. Okay. So this is how many tests we'll plan. We'll plan 50 tests altogether, from which 10 will be sectional and 40 will be full length. Now, this number may slightly vary for individuals depending on which test series you join. Some test series will have only 8 sectional tests, some test series they'll have 12 sectional tests. So, accordingly, you can manage, okay, but more than 10, I'll say it's not required. You should focus more on full length tests. So, 40 full length tests will plan. So, the detailed schedule for this can be planned like this. Okay, this is first part, only sectional tests. So the last column, it represents how many tests you should give in week. For example, first Feb, third Feb. So by 1st February, you would be done with economics and polity, the first study, so that you can give test on first and third. Similarly, 16th, 18th, you can give on environment and geography, and like that, the thing is planned. Okay, so this is for sectional tests till 12th March. Okay, the yellow color represents sectional tests, and the green color, which is the next part, it represents full length tests. Okay, so every week you should plan like this: 3 3 4 4 triple, like this. Okay, so that together you will be able to finish 50 tests. Now this is indicative. Okay, it's not that if I mention 18th March, you should give on 18th March only. You can adjust according to your needs. Okay, instead of Sundays, the first days, I guess it's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. So instead of Monday, you can plan all tests on Sunday, something like that, whatever suits you. But I'll say you should keep this weekly number constant. Okay, you should not change it, because this is the way it should be done. I'll just show you the full table. Okay. This is the full table. So initially you just start with 0 weekly tests, then you go with 2 2 1, okay, 2 3 4. Then like you should make it 5 per week, and again before exam you should drop it to 2 and 1. Okay, because before exam we don't want anything new. Okay, because sometimes in mock test we get very less marks also. Even like if you have studied very nicely, that happens with everyone. Okay, so you'll not be an exception. So before prelims, even like the toppers, they have recommended that you should reduce the number of tests you should be giving. So based on all these principles in mind, we have prepared this number of tests per week you should be giving. So these are two parts of our schedule. Okay, the mock tests, and the first one, as we discussed, was finishing the syllabus. The third leg, I'll say it will be CSAT, but since it will not be applicable for everybody, we did not include that. What I'll suggest for CSAT, You should try to finish it by April. Yeah, by mid-April, I'll say by 15th April, you should be done with CSAT. After that, what should be remaining is maybe a test at some frequency, just to ensure that you're on track. Before 15th April, what you should do, you should give maybe like 1 hour every day for CSAT, 1.5 up to 2 hours based on your own confidence, your own experience in previous CSATs. And accordingly, you can prepare your own schedule for CSAT. First, you can solve the previous year questions, identify your weakness, your strengths, and then accordingly improve on them. Okay. If you're interested, we'll have a separate video on CSAT also. Please let me know in the comments if you're interested. We'll do that also. But these two will be required for everybody. Okay, having a separate schedule for mock test and having a schedule for revision of all the subjects. If you do that, it will ensure that you will be at your best. Okay, because you will be doing 4 5 revisions of the entire syllabus, you'll remember everything in exam. Okay, because especially because the last few revisions will be done very back to back. Okay, so that will happen, that you'll be able, that will ensure that you're able to remember things in exam. Okay, if that happens, I don't think you need to do anything else. Okay, so just remember this and you are good to go. Okay, so I'll mention the link for this entire schedule in the description. Okay, so you can go for yourself, see the schedule on Google Sheets. You can download it or like copy for yourself and like make changes whatever you feel in that. And that's it. Let me know if there is anything else. Okay, thank you. And please subscribe to our channel. It looks like so many of you are watching the videos but not subscribing. Please subscribe so that we will be posting videos like this which will be very useful for you. Will not be posting something which is not needed. Okay, something which is very important, on that aspects only we will post videos. And there is a lot more that can be discussed in UPSC prelims. Okay, so we will be putting more number of videos, and the ones that will actually help you in your preparation. So please subscribe to our channel, tell others also about our videos. Okay, thank you.